Hi everyone, this is Dawn over at Plot Chronicles. Today I wanted to do a very brief video on how I am rereading some of my favorite books. Now when I say rereading, some I'm actually reading and some I'm listening to, because I do like computer work, you know, several days, actually every day of the week. And sometimes when I'm doing some computer work, I like an audio book in the background. So I have some as audio and some that I actually read. But there's some books that I want to tell you guys about. But to be totally honest, let's say if it's a book that I remember that I really liked and I read it 3 years ago, well, I'm not going to remember all the details, especially if you read on average 10 books a month. Some books I might read 12, some books I might read 8. So when you read that many books, okay, and so you're talking 500 books in 5 years, you're not going to remember details. So it's really helpful if I go back, and then when I do a video, I want to have a clear, so when I do a video, it's best if I review the book within a couple days after I finish the book. That way all the information is fresh. I don't feel like I'm stumbling over my words. There's nothing worse than trying to explain something and you explain it in a 3-minute time period, when if you had a clearer thought, you could have done it in a 1-minute period. So I'm rereading some of my favorites. I want to tell you the 2 that I'm rereading, and then I'll do a review on them later. And then I want to ask you guys, do you ever reread some of your favorites? Okay, one of my favorite books that I gave 5 stars to, and I've told you about it, but I'm rereading this, is called The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Basically, it's about a girl named Kit. And I will tell you more about the book later without giving away spoilers. And what I love about this book is it was set, now when it's set with her, it's set there, I think in the early 80s, okay? But she has to go caregive a woman named Lenora Hope, who was accused of unaliving her family, but it was not proven. Well, this is a gothic mystery, and I love anything gothic. Let me know if you guys do. And I love period pieces. So, you know, I think Lenora Hope's in her 70s, so this was taking 50. So I think this was like late 1920s, early 30s when this situation took place, okay? So she goes to caregive this woman in this like gothic mansion that's not well cared for. They have very little staff, okay? And it's kind of on the cliff, and it doesn't look like a very sturdy place, if that makes sense. I mean, like, Kit has to go up these stairs and they're kind of creaky, and it seems like the house is kind of on level. It would make me a little nervous being in there that it would fall off the cliff and into the ocean myself, but it's not the most well cared for house. But she is taken care of because she's had some strokes and different things happening. So Lenora Hope's in a wheelchair. She's pretty much nonverbal, and she can type with like 1 or 2 fingers. And so Kit asks her questions, and Lenora types yes or no to the questions she asks on the typewriter. And Lenora wants to tell Kit her story of what really happened. That's what the book is all about. It is really good. I'm not finished with it yet, but I'm going to do a review on it when I'm finished. But I absolutely love it. Then this other book I love, and lately I haven't been loving a lot of Frida's books. I love Frida McFadden, but I have to be honest, some of the books recently I haven't loved. I did really like The Tenant, and there's some other books I really liked. I really liked The Boyfriend. The Crash was just okay, but some of her books are just okay, okay? Some of the ones from the end, but some of her books are really good. I still love Frida, and I'll read every one of her books, though. Not every, you know what, these authors write so many books. Not every book, just like every YouTuber, not every video is going to be viral. Not every book is going to be a 5-star read. It's just the way it is, you know? So that we can look forward to the next book if we don't love one book. Okay, so Frida wrote this book called Do Not Disturb, and it spans over a 7-year period, and it is really good. It sounds kind of like a take on Psycho, but when you get into it, it's really not. There's a girl named Quinn, and I'll just say she's married. She committed an unthinkable crime. Okay, I'll say that. And so she's trying to escape. She's really close to her sister, and her sister's trying to find her. There's people involved. So Quinn goes to stay in this old motel, and Quinn meets Nick, who is the owner of the motel. She doesn't meet Rosalie, And Rosalie's Nick's wife, who has, you'll find out later, I'll just tell you this much, she has MS, and so Nick is kind of caregiving her. And then a gypsy woman, okay? And it's the story of what happens. So she's trying to escape, getting caught by the police and things. She's staying at this hotel. She wants to escape the hotel, but of course there's a winter storm. And then it goes back in time from when Nick and Rosalie were first dating and finding the story of that. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll give you guys more review, but I have one question to ask you guys. Do you ever go back and reread some of your favorite books? This is kind of pretty much the first time I'm doing this. So I want to start doing this though so that I can do reviews for you guys. Let me know if either of these books would be something you want to read. That's all I have to say. Love you, appreciate you, and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.